Your whole entire day can just come to a bitter end at the hands of the narcissist. They're in control. Once you're walking on eggshells, you have lost all control of yourself. Yo, what's up, warriors, and welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. Tonight I want to talk about walking on eggshells around a narcissist or a psychopath. Before we jump into that topic, I do want to remind you guys this is an anti-narcissist community. If you're here by accident and you don't know what we're talking about, I encourage you to stick around. You might learn something. However, we don't take kindly to narcissists, and we expose toxic people here and toxic behavior. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Walking on eggshells around a narcissist is pretty much a common thing when you're involved or entangled with predators like these. It doesn't happen right away. As a matter of fact, it starts happening when you reach stage 2 of a narcissistic toxic relationship. Now, of course, if you guys are already familiar with a toxic relationship with a narcissist, then you know the 3 steps. It always starts with the love bombing and idealization phase. Then you've got the devaluation and decline phase, followed by the discard and decay. Now, it isn't until you reach phase 2, the devaluation and decline, where you start walking on eggshells around the narcissist. And by the time you make it to the 3rd phase, there's no such thing as carpeting or tile anymore. It's only eggshells, okay? Everywhere you go, you sleep on eggshells, okay? Let me tell you. Now, off the top of my head, I'm just gonna give you 3 reasons why you feel you need to walk on eggshells around these predators. The first one is the most obvious, okay? And you're afraid of what the narcissist is gonna do, okay? And that could be many, many things. It could be you're afraid of the tantrum and the rage that they're gonna throw, okay? If you say the wrong thing, they're gonna blow up and just rage and scream and break shit around the house, okay? God forbid they're abusive to you, any type of domestic violence or abuse, okay? That's huge. That's huge. And if that's done before, it makes perfect sense for you to be walking on eggshells thinking that, holy shit, if I make the wrong move, I may just get belted tonight. But there's other things that you might be afraid of as well. You might be afraid of the narcissist leaving and leaving you all alone on a Saturday night, wondering if they're cheating, wondering when they're gonna come home, wondering if they're okay, because a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse are codependent, and no matter how bad the abuse is, they still have that care for the predator, and they hope nothing bad happens to them. And one day you'll guys discover, once you're through with that shit, that you could care less if they burn in hell. But while you're still in the entanglement, no matter what they do to you, you still panic, you still worry if they got tossed in jail, if they got into an accident, if they got killed somewhere. And these reasons are more than enough to keep you on your toes. You don't want to make the wrong move. You don't want to screw this up because things could get bad. Your whole entire day can just come to a bitter end at the hands of the narcissist. They're in control. Once you're walking on eggshells, you have lost all control of yourself. Because now you don't have the courage to stand up for yourself. Even when you know you're right, you're going to look the other way. You're going to turn the other cheek. You're not going to fight back. And this only empowers the narcissist by proxy. I like to say by proxy because it empowers them by weakening you. It weakens your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-confidence. Therefore, they look like they're stronger. Remember, the narcissists are really weak pieces of shit. They use smoke and mirrors to look like they're powerful, but they're not. In comparison to a weak victim, they look strong, but they're not strong. If they were strong, they wouldn't have to do this manipulative bullshit. They would just live an honest and peaceful life. They wouldn't have to play all these games. They'd live an honest, truthful life, which is much easier than being in hell and having to lie and cover up lie after lie after lie and plot revenge and all this nonsense. It's obviously unhealthy for you, but believe it or not, it's unhealthy for them. But fuck them, I don't care. Now, the second reason most victims of narcissistic abuse start walking on eggshells is because of the fear of abandonment. That's pretty much it. You're afraid the relationship's gonna end. You're afraid they're going to break up with you. You're afraid they're going to ask for a divorce. You're afraid you're going to lose them. Now think about that for a second. You're afraid of losing an abusive monster that's making your life miserable, that has turned you into a vegetable, a shadow of yourself. You don't even recognize who the hell you are anymore. And yet you're afraid of losing that relationship. Why? Maybe you're afraid of being alone. Maybe you're afraid you'll never find someone anymore. Maybe you think you're too old to meet someone. Maybe you're afraid no one's going to put up with your little nuances. Maybe you feel you've invested so much time, so many years into this entanglement that it's just too exhausting to even fathom starting over, because the brain thinks that it's going to take another 5, 10, 15 years for this person to get to know you and for you to establish a routine again. The brain only knows what it knows. So it thinks the next relationship is going to be the same way. So you're afraid of losing what you have because you don't want to start something else. You don't want to invest in something else. That fear of unknown is fucking crazy. And that takes me to the third reason why you probably are walking on eggshells right now around this psychopath predator. And it's that fear of the unknown. You don't know what you're afraid of. There's a fear in there, but you can't point it out. Maybe you can acknowledge that you're afraid of being alone. A lot of people actually come to that realization. Maybe you can acknowledge, oh, I'm afraid of losing my house and having to go through the hassle of a divorce. I'm afraid of having to split custody of the kids. Maybe you have already come to terms with that. But there's always this unknown fear that you just don't know what could happen. You don't know what's going to happen. Why? Because the narcissist never fails to surprise you. They never fail to surprise you. They always have something up their sleeve that you haven't seen before. Okay? You figure out their patterns. You already expect the abuse. You know exactly how it's going to be. You know you're going to get ghosted for X amount of days. You know they're going to pull the silent treatment on you. You know they're going to withhold sex and intimacy. But you don't know what you don't know. How's that for a mind fuck? There's always something that could happen, something they could say that you're afraid of. And these predators have a way of making us create this unknown fear that keeps us stuck and paralyzed, that we just lose all control and we just give them all the power. And if you only knew how empowering it is to crush those goddamn shells and put your foot down and look at evil in the eye and call it out for what it is and tell them, no, fuck you, psycho. That's not how the story goes. That's not what happened. I'm not putting up with this shit. But it takes courage. And courage only exists when you do the thing that you're afraid of doing. Courage is always on the other side of fear. And I always tell my clients and the survivors that I work with every single day, you got to do the things that you know you got to do whether you feel like it or not. I don't give a fuck if you're afraid. You got to just do it. And you're going to see what's going to happen when you do it. You're going to see how strong you start becoming. But you're not going to know until you try it. But you'll never know until you try it. When one door closes in your face, there's another door that's waiting for you to open. It's just on the other side of that hallway, right? Walking across that hallway is a motherfucker. And that's the test. That's the test. Now, I'm not telling you go get in the face of an abusive predator that's going to beat you senseless. I'm not saying that. You have to use a little common sense here, guys, okay? A little common sense here. But I hope you understand the gist of what I'm trying to communicate here. You can't live a life walking on eggshells. It's destroying you from the inside. It's creating all sorts of panic and anxiety. And this is keeping you, and this is pushing you further and further down the spiral. And this is not going to help you get out of this entanglement. Remember, you need to get out of this entanglement. That's why you're watching these videos, because you're trying to low-key figure out how to get the fuck out. And I can help you find your way out. I can help you find your way out because I did it. I was in that same rotten place. I was walking on rotten eggshells. I was in the same goddamn place. And the aftermath after the discard was hell. If I thought it was hell living with a narcissist, it was hell after. It was hell after. But hell in here. Not here, not in my heart. Because I understood this was a monster. I was not in love with a monster. This monster had no love for me. It was the psychological breakdown that came from all the gaslighting, from the brain fog, from the triangulation, from the betrayal, from the lies, the narcissistic abuse. Now I can show you how to break free, how to rewire these thought patterns, how to find yourself, how to find the strength you need to push through these obstacles that are holding you back, how to break through these chains that have you bound to the narcissist in a trauma bond. Don't be afraid to reach out. If you want to work directly with me, we can conquer this shit together. I do offer a private one-on-one online coaching mentoring program. I have a link below that you can get more details on. Don't waste any more time entertaining these pieces of shit. Don't waste another breath walking on eggshells, dancing around them, letting your anxiety eat you from the inside. That's how disease is formed. That's how you age faster. And that's how you live a life of regret. And we don't want to live a life of regret anymore. Because I can promise you, and people will tell you, the people that have gone through this and got out are so grateful. So grateful for the life they're living now. Just read it in the comments. Just read the comments below. You see some people every once in a while, they bounce right in and they're like, I kicked that motherfucker out. I am free. I love myself. I'm traveling. I have a new partner. Life is great. They ain't got time to bullshit anymore. They figured it out and they did what it took. And you can do the same. So shoot me an email if you're interested at info@psychopathexposure.com and we can start working together right away. That's all I got for today, guys. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already done so and click the little bell icon so you can get notified when I drop a new video. And don't forget to download your free ebook on the 5 steps of going no contact with a psychopath narcissist so you can learn how to establish boundaries and start training your mind of how to live a life without these predators constantly poison dripping you and sending you back to square one, which is what happens every time you re-engage with them. Okay, it's an absolutely free downloadable ebook that goes straight into your phone and your computer. I have a link below. And hope you guys are doing well. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the moment whenever you're watching this. Don't forget to breathe. Everything's gonna be okay. All right? Keep fighting the good fight. Keep moving forward and stay on the rise.